make sure you like this video and subscribe to Mike's, okay? Make sure. If you don't subscribe to Mike, you're gonna have a fat forehead and a big hairline.
Boom, I'm with the guy Max inside. Subscribe to him, make sure you do still. Best content coming out. You know how it is.
Hello and welcome back to another video, people. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Make sure to smash the likes and subscribing if you are new. And yeah, obviously I didn't get to watch the game yesterday, but I wanted to do an overall review of our preseason because the preseason's ended now, funny enough. And I can't believe it. I can't believe we're actually going to another season, to be honest with you, because it feels like it's happened so quick. I feel like I haven't had a proper break from West Ham United, to be honest with you, and a break that I needed and wanted. However, we're going to have to make do with the break we had. We're going to have to make do with the break we had, unfortunately. For me, I was very worried going into this preseason because there's a very heavily reliance on Graham Potter now implementing his style of play. He has now no excuses. So I don't really want to be going through the whole sacking manager and hiring another manager again. But if we have to, then we have to. It is what it is. I'm never afraid to say manager out. So going into this preseason, I was like, don't disappoint me because all we have now is coaching. Because we don't have, for example, funds like, not even funds. We don't have an owner that wants to provide any form of funds for this club, the ambition. So you're going to have to make do with what you have. And to be honest, as much as that's not your fault, it is kind of still your fault because you took the job. You took the job. So it is kind of your fault. That's why I've always maintained he's not the problem, like in terms of the main problem, neither was Lopetegui, Moyes, whoever. But at the same time, once you take the job and once you actually have time to implement what you need to implement, I can't like just be patient with you for the sake of it. So that's why I was worried going into this preseason. But like going from Zurich Grasshoppers all the way to Lille, I think we know that the midfield is a problem. We know that the midfield is now the problem. Cool, we've got a striker, not the striker I wanted, but we're cool. We've got a striker. We've got fullback depth. We've got a goalkeeper. That's it, right? We signed 4 players. Yeah, we haven't signed a winger. Haven't signed a centre back. So midfield. Well, we needed way more than 5 signings. Don't get me wrong. We needed way more than 5 signings. Way more. But right now, I'm looking at the midfield and I'm like, why? I know Freddie Potts had a bad game yesterday, according to everyone on Twitter. So, like, cool. I've maintained that, though, with Potts and Earthy and Orphan, whoever gets included in this, we need 3 midfielders anyway. So, whether that's a problem or not, cool. But I would rather play Freddie Potts than Edson Alvarez from what I've seen in preseason. Cool, Alvarez hasn't played in preseason. Do I care? No. I know he's playing in a behind closed doors friendly, I'd imagine, today because he hasn't played all this time. But Alvarez isn't in Potter's plans, despite the squad number change. He's not in his plans. He doesn't like Alvarez. He doesn't like him. He never has. So he will play. I'm not saying he will never play, but he's not going to be his first choice. It's going to be Potts, Ward-Prowse, and Paquetá. And Ward-Prowse is a big issue. Cool, Alvarez isn't starting, but I've maintained that both of them now are an issue. And the truth is, when I found out Ward-Prowse was an issue was when he started with Lopetegui just before he moved to Nottingham Forest. I'm like, Ward-Prowse, Alvarez, and Souček midfield. These men aren't it. And then Ward-Prowse ended up going on loan anyway. But then when he came back, the club were trying to act like we just signed some world-class player, and he was like coming back to save us, sort of thing. And it was very confusing of why they were trying to do that. But I guess it's because we were so in the gutter that anyone on loan is going to be put out there as a new signing. But it was genuinely disgusting, some of the PR they were doing. And the problem is he's too much in like the face of the club now for me to think like we're not going to be able to get rid of this guy. And obviously he's like 30 years old, 31 years old on that much wages. We signed him for 30 million. That's genuinely one of the biggest flops in West Ham's history. And the thing is, it doesn't get talked about because you're not a foreign name. Like, cool, if it's a Scamacca, it gets talked about. If it's a Halle, it gets talked about. Even Naif, again, like, he has his cult fan base, and the Moroccans online are fucking annoying. But at the same time, he gets talked about as more of a flop. Issa Diop gets talked about as more of a flop. Ward-Prowse is a big flop. Alvarez is a big flop. That transfer window, cool, could have had a very good first season. So did Mavropanos, to be fair to him as well. Alvarez had played well in that first season as well. Moyes kind of scapegoated him, in my opinion. And Ward-Prowse he was played out of position, so I didn't criticize him too much. But when you look back at that window, that's a terrible window. Like, we spent the Rice money on that. We spent the Declan Rice money on that, and this is why midfield is such a forefront of the issue in preseason, because when you're watching the team actually play out from the back and stuff and try and pass in between the lines, their lack of ability is generally astounding. Is astounding to me. So that's a thing I learned from preseason a lot. Like, it's the midfield. For me, Fulcrook looks really sharp. Freddie Potts, cool. I didn't watch yesterday's game, but he's looked really good. We've got some youth players and some players that are stepping up that are already at the club that hopefully could have improved seasons. Malik Diouf is really impressed as well. He seems to be trying to build a relationship with Jared Bowen from two different sides. The cross for the Bournemouth game was a highlight for me. That Bournemouth game in general was quite a highlight for me. I don't think the 5 at the back is going to work. I've maintained this before. I think we need an extra attacker, but I don't think Potter's going to find the balance. And the reason why I don't think Potter's going to find the balance is because he likes to use wingers as wing backs, and the only winger he's actually using is the one up front in Jared Bowen. So I think Potter's use of wingers is going to make or break him, to be honest with you. I would like him to go to what he's used to, but we will see. One thing that's really pissing me off about Graham Potter is the Tadibo thing, which is he always takes it. I saw even yesterday on my phone that he took Tadibo off. He loves taking Tadibo off. We need Tadibo for 90 minutes. He needs to stop doing that. That's pissing me off. It's pissing me off. Because every time Tadibo does go off, our defense looks weaker, whether people like it or not. I don't know why Tadibo gets this hate just for one mistake against Ipswich or whatever, but fucking hell. Come on, man. Tadibo makes our defense so much stronger. So much stronger. And every time he comes off, we lose that physicality, we lose the pace, we lose the ability to actually defend in wide areas quite a bit. If we maintain the right side of Wan-Bissaka and Tadibo on a defense, it's going to be dangerous for left wingers. Like, they're not going to get past. So just keep him on. Keep him on. For the love of God, please, just keep him on. But yeah, Graham Potter, this is going to make or break you now. You've had your preseason to implement what you want. Seems to be a 5-3-2/3-4-2-1 at times and whatever. I think Potter's going to have to realize that he's going to have to start playing wingers at wing backs and start tucking Wan-Bissaka into for the balance of the team. But I'm going to get into maybe another time later on down the line on why Potter might not be able to get the balance out of West Ham. But all of that is just my opinion. Make sure to leave a like on the video. Make sure to subscribe if you want to. Social medias are in the description if you want to follow me. We're about to go live. Well, actually, no, you'll see this at 6 p.m. But I was live for the watch along of Palace Liverpool. But now, look forward to the GVO show tomorrow. We're going to have lives throughout the week, and the season's about to start. So keep updated. I've got some things coming up. But yeah, take care. Peace, guys.